Alright, so today we're going to go over what I want to see in the first report. A lot of the stuff I'll talk about is going to be pretty similar for all of the other reports as well. Alright, first thing, abstract. You need to go over the experiment. So in general, that'll be talking about the objectives of the experiment, why it's important, go over the procedures in general, kind of keep it top level, and then go over the main results and include numbers, okay? Now, when I say main results, I mean main results. I don't want to see all of the results discussed in the abstract. That would be too much. You need to decide on your own what's the most important part of the experiment, and then tell me those main results. All of you should know from experience now what you should be writing in an abstract, but if you want some input from me, you can reach out. Alright, next section, results. So instead of a procedure section, we're going to have a little mini procedure in the results. So you're going to, in general, talk about the procedure for how you obtained your results. So if you have a Simulink model, you're going to include a screenshot of that in this part here. But you're going to generally talk about what you did to do the lab. So for lab 1, we had an analytic solution that we developed that came from a free body diagram, and then we solved it by hand, and then we also solved it inside of Simulink, and then we wrote some code to post-process our data and make our plots. Okay, so you would put all of that in the beginning of the results section. Again, make sure that you include the screenshot of the Simulink model. Alright, then we have our quantitative results and our plots. So now we're going to actually present our results. So you're going to have a lot of plots here, and I want you to include the associated numbers for these plots. So for the first lab, an example would be the maximum force and when that occurred. Okay, and then when you present a result in a figure, you need to interpret the data. You can't just present a figure and go, okay, I'm done. Now let's go to the discussion section. No, you need to present a figure, and then you have to talk about that figure. So if I have these curves on a graph, explain what those curves are telling us. If, a straight line is, let's say we have a slope of 5, right? Okay, that line is going to be different from a parabolic function. You need to explain what those different curves are telling us, the reader. Alright, discussion and conclusion. You're going to discuss the experiment. Wow, of course. So here in the results, we interpret the data, and then we expand on those results in the discussion section, okay? And then we're going to have error analysis. So we're going to talk about sources of error in the experiment. So for us, we're not actually doing any experiments in person, but we still have error. So you'll be able to think about what error might occur in this experiment. For experiment 1, you might have rounding errors for your analytic solution. And for Simulink, we have inherent error because it's a numeric approximation. References. If you have a reference, or if you're talking about something in the body of your text, then you need to reference that in text. And then you're going to have this section at the end that's specifically for references. It's, a bibliography, so you'll number each reference that you have. References for this lab probably will just be the lab handouts and videos from me if you use my code or if you use my Simulink model, okay? Reference whatever you didn't make or state on your own. And then if you also look up, outside information that's supplemental, then you can reference that as well. Alright, the appendix section, this is mainly for your sample calculations. So here, I'm going to include all of these sample calculations, and they should be typed out. Let's see, yeah, okay, I want them to be typed out basically all the time. We'll talk about it for the first lab if you didn't type it out already, because the first lab is due pretty soon here. Okay, datasheets, we don't have any for this lab. Actually, we will for lab 2, but I'm going to supply you with the datasheet, and then you will put that in this section right here. Okay, and then additional figures and charts, etc., if you have them. Alright, last part, formatting and clarity. So this is only 5 points, but it is really important though. I want your report to be consistent and clean in structure. Figures and tables, they always need to have a caption. Have a consistent font. I don't want to see Times New Roman here and then Arial up here. No, it should be the same. Appropriate figure lines and markers. Can I read them? That seems so obvious, but there are so many times when I can't even read what's on someone's plot. So make sure they are easily visible and that I can read whatever's on there. Units on your figure axes. You need to make sure you have them. If you don't, then it's irrelevant. I need to know what I'm looking at. References, present, and organized. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have our references section, but I want it to look appropriate. All of you should know how to have a bibliography section by now. Appendices organized, so again, that's kind of the same as having a clean structure. Grammar, spelling, etc. Yeah, you need to read over your report before you submit it. Okay, really make sure that you're spelling correctly and that your grammar is good as well. Equations and symbols well explained, okay, and a logical progression of ideas and calculations. I don't want to see things just kind of spread chaotically throughout the report. It needs to have a kind of flow to it that allows the reader to easily go through the report and understand what's going on. Okay, and then I give more detail down here for what I expect. So go through there. Alright, let's look at the template now. So right here is the template that I made last semester. So no, you're not taking 306B right now, obviously. But I'll go over this. So I never noticed this, but I spelled the members wrong. Do not do what I just did. That's bad. I didn't read over this before. So make sure you spell everything correctly. Alright, so you're going to put your name, team members. You don't have any, so don't put them. The date of, submission or whatever. And have the experiment up top here. A little subtitle. And the class we're in. Put 476A. Yep. And submit it to me. Okay, table of contents. I do expect to see this as well. Nomenclature. We're going to have that as well. And then we get to the abstract. I talked about what should be in the abstract already. Results. Alright, so here's an example of an in-text citation. If you have one, it should look like that. Discussion and conclusion. Bibliography. It should look something like this as well. And then appendix. So, throughout this entire report, I'm using Roman numerals. You don't have to use them, but you should be consistent with whatever format you have. Alright, because it's pretty basic. Now, this template, I can upload it. It's a LaTeX template, so that's all I'm going to upload, because I really recommend that you use LaTeX. Now, our sections, they are going to be numbered for us automatically, so that's something that's nice. Our nomenclature, that can also be developed like this automatically. So if oh boy, now I gotta find where I had that. Miscellaneous, yes. Alright, so here is our template right here. Let's make it bigger so you can see. Again, this is a LaTeX template. So I tried to make a lot of comments so you could kind of understand what's going on. A lot of the stuff up here, you can basically ignore all of this if you're not familiar with LaTeX. That's just to kind of get everything started for what we need. Then you see we have begin document. And this is where you're going to start writing stuff. So here are the headers that we have. Here's the title page. And then we're going to start our page counter on the table of contents. And then, okay, here's the nomenclature. So all you have to do right here is type in whatever variable that you have. And then you can type in what it means. And then, see, I have this line here called print nomenclature. And it's going to make our nomenclature page automatically. Wow. What's wrong here? Oh, okay, it's a big LaTeX issue. So this is the template. You can look at it. There we go. Now it rendered or compiled. So our nomenclature section, it came there automatically. So that's pretty convenient. All right, and then we have pick and report. So we have our section for the abstract, for the results, discussion and conclusion. And you'll see right here for the references section, all you have to do is print bibliography, and then it makes your bibliography page. So for that, we are referencing our bibliography file right here. So, I'm not going to give you a full LaTeX tutorial right now, but again, I do recommend that you use it. There's a lot of tutorials online. And then we have the appendix and sample calculations. And yep. Yeah, right here, this is for the sample calcs. Okay, so I wasn't really planning on going over the LaTeX kind of formatting, but whatever. Alright, so that's it. Hopefully that helped and cleared stuff up. If you have more questions, then email me or go in the Discord. See you on Tuesday. Almost said Monday. See you on Tuesday.